Hello YouTube, Ronan Kazi. I think I figured that part out. Today's something a little different again. So I've already done my legendary capital for the week. I haven't even processed that video yet. I ran this tonight, sped it up quite a bit. I didn't even look. In this new setup, I've taken my radar and everything else. I've thrown it down on the bottom, so I didn't even see what we were doing in here. So this armor breaking isn't always my favorite. Last few capitals I've run in here and started working in here. And what happens, I don't realize this, but we're moving through here pretty fast. There's like a person that's 2,000s and a 6,000. And I'm struggling to get that up there. And we also have it where you have cooldown on skills. I didn't realize that either. So I'm going to basically just be jammer pulsing the whole time. And so Shortwave Crab has the mortar. And someone else is doing something that really pisses him off. Or her off. Or them, they, them off. I think that fella right there, up there, whatever his name is, he's just killing everything. He has like a, I guess, a Regulus pistol build, but I can't really see it. They claim he's firing through walls. Now, we weren't clearing it inordinately fast. Well, maybe that's kind of fast. But one of the things that you should always be doing in everything is you should be benchmarking yourself. You don't have to get down to the number of sheets of toilet paper you use and then dividing that by the 355 sheets they give you. Computing how many, if you use 3 bathrooms a day, you know, that means you have 106. You have 70 days, 60 days of toilet paper. So that dude that was accused of cheating votes to remove Shortwave Crab. I forget who the group leader is. And I'm not really here for any of that drama. It really doesn't matter. I don't even need the exotic. I like running the legendaries to give you a view of what's going on in the legendary. This past month I've had a couple of really exceptional legendary runs, and now it hasn't been quite as much. So what do you do when there's trouble on the team, right? So this is another thing. If you're just one of the team members, the best thing you can do is not fan the flames. Unless you're a troll and you like fanning the flames and you like causing that chaos, unless you're the person that's going to benefit from all that. That's pretty Machiavellian to do that, but you can do that. But let's say you don't want anything. Let's say you're not doing this for ulterior motives. Let's say you don't have a horse in the race. You probably just want to stay out of it then. If you have a bad leader, then it's going to just be, you're having these problems because you have a bad leader. That's when you just got to decide either I'm going to stay or move or get out. I would say from my point of view, there's a lot of things I think when it comes to business and making teams, I think I have a lot of experience doing that. I'm going to start talking about relationships a little bit. Although I have experience in doing that, I have no expertise. I don't claim any expertise. I am just as fallible as everyone else. There's times I think I got it down, and then, the next minute I've kicked it wide right again. But I'm going to say this is one of the key things in any relationship, whether you have friends, same-sex friends, opposite-sex friends, mixed bag of tricks, friends, whatever, transgender, whatever kind of friends you have. What you need to learn how to do is fight with each other or have a disagreement. To say that you're never going to disagree with someone, to say that you're never going to fight with someone is myopic and childish. You're going to disagree eventually on some things. And how you deal with that is just super important. And some of the most important relationships in your lives, whether it's your spouse, your children, your parents, these are important relationships. Each one has a different dynamic, so we don't necessarily have to go over the different dynamics. But what I'm going to say to you, if you're a child and you want to have a decent relationship with your parent, it doesn't mean subjugate yourself to them, but you got to find a way to acknowledge what they're saying. But they have got to let you go and let you make your own decisions and things in life. But you have to acknowledge them and listen to what they're saying and take that into account, because ultimately you may need them at some point in the future. And we're talking about the 90 or 80% of the semi-normal parent-child relationships. If you have something that's not that, I apologize. That advice isn't worthwhile. Number 2, if you're a parent to a child, you have to realize that that child is going to eventually grow up, try to identify themselves, try to make their way in this world. And part of that's going to be rejecting all the stuff you taught them. It doesn't mean they don't love you, but they've got to develop their own identity. So as a parent, you got to give them that room to grow. Now, maybe people were hacking, timeout, maybe people were hacking, like in this part, something's really bad happening. But I'm in here, I'm safe. And I've told you before, if I get here, I can carry you right to the end. And so I'm not going to budge. There's times earlier that I would budge and I'd get wiped. I'm not going to wipe. I try to throw a healing thing. This is a mistake. And I'm going to tell you why it's a mistake in a cool down situation. So that guy dies. What we should do is just finish out this map and then res him. Because by the time you get it where you're safe, there's too many enemies on elevation. There's never going to be a good spot to go there. Because we have the cooldown things, I'm never going to be able to get off of the hive. I can put a healing hive out, but as soon as I kill the healing hive and I try to go to a res hive, every time I hit the vial jammer, which is every 12 seconds, I'm going to reset my skill. That's why these skills that are these counting skills are just miserable for this kind of thing. That's why I usually deplore them. In the chat, this is what is going on, that they're saying, just stop pulsing so you can get me up. How about I can't do that because if I don't keep putting pressure on them, they're going to rush me. So I got to burn them down. I know this is boring for everyone. I apologize. While we're boring, how about we like, subscribe, share, unsubscribe, resubscribe, hit the notifications. I'm going to tell you what's happening with my comments situation. YouTube is automatically doing this, so I don't know if someone is complaining about the channel. I don't have anything that says they are. Maybe when I'm linking to like a music video, maybe that's what's happening. So I've deleted those. I've reset it several times. I checked a bunch of times and put it on whatever, and then it just didn't work. Here's an annoying thing that they're doing. I didn't get the healers down right away, so this is going to take a little bit longer. Getting back to relationships, now we're talking about your spouse. So we did the parent. Your siblings, you just got to figure it out. Part of that is pack mentality. You're going to fit in a pack, and it usually goes by age and some type of male, female, sometimes the firstborn son. There's all these kind of dynamics. Depends how old you are, what time of the century you guys were doing it, that they're going to be. It's a lot of, now we're getting into a matrix or table of how to do things. Let's talk about your spouse, though, and how you fight with your spouse. You can't keep throwing the GD kitchen sink. Maybe I've been cussing too, so maybe that's why it's doing it. You can't throw everything, including the kitchen sink, in these battles. You're most vulnerable to the people you love the most. That might not be healthy, that might not be mature, but it's just how it is. You think if someone loves you, that when you lay bare your heart to them, they're not going to cut it. And they might not mean to cut it, and they might mean to cut it. But they could just say something benign and it could be enough to really devastate you. So you've got to be careful. So the quicker you can learn some ground rules, and listen, you're not going to remember the rules when you're in the middle of the battle of this. What you got to remember is, do you want to be with this person? If there's a chink in that armor, sorry, if there's a crack in the armor, not the derogatory term, look up what armor, and it has imperfections in the armor. If you have imperfections in the armor, it weakens the armor. Sorry, everyone, not intended. Getting back to the story. If you have some weakness in your relationship, when you have a fight or you have a disagreement, which you are going to have, it's going to be exacerbated right there. So, maybe Ronin Kazi was immature, and maybe Ronin Kazi would then do the silent treatment because it's like, oh, I'm just not going to say anything anymore. And I'm not going to do that. That's not mature. In those times, you probably got to talk more. But really, again, if you think of the channel, if you're new to the channel, I have video after video where I say you should learn how to solo. And before you point the finger at someone else, you should worry about your own game and your own style and everything else. And that'll carry you through. Whether you're playing Diablo, Destiny, The Division 2, The Division, Star Wars, The Old Republic, Fallout 76. Take care of yourself first. Fix yourself first. And part of that is accepting a little bit of criticism, asking yourself why. If you're having a fight, is it a fight just that's started right then, or disagreement that started right then, or is it a carryover from other things? Again, you can't just keep letting things pile up. They don't go away. You can't ostrich and bury your head in the sand. Sorry, YouTube, for the derogatory terms on ostriches that put their heads in the ground when they are having arguments to just pretend that things aren't there. But honestly, folks, this is something that you need to learn to do. And at work, of course, again, if you're not using confusion and strife for your betterment or your own personal gain, which is horrible, I think, then it doesn't really help if you throw wood on the fire. Because if you ever go camping and you want to keep a fire going, you throw wood on the fire. So that's where we're at, YouTube. Sorry, didn't know if I was going to cough or gruff that out. I'm going to gruff it out. So there's trouble in paradise. We eventually get through here, like pretty much I almost always do at this point. But there is a lot of trouble. Whether someone's cheating or not, I don't know. And really, if your build is so good that you could cheat, why would you go into group? It just seems counterintuitive. Excuse me, but you may have a great build like the person claimed. Anyways, we're going to get out of here and do this. I'm working hard on fixing the comment situation. I know I'm not doing it, so I know YouTube's doing it. And so therefore, I've got to, unless someone has hacked my account, that could be a whole nother thing. I don't think that, but maybe that's it too. So I got a couple more grounders to run out. Fix it first before I do anything else. So I appreciate everyone that's helping. Channel's still growing. I appreciate you guys still sending people here. If you really needed to contact me and you want to really get something off here, you can always go to the Discord channel and put it on there. I don't check it every minute of every day, but I check it enough that I would respond relatively quick. So this is Ronin Kazi. Thank you again. Have a good one. Out.